15 bans and strange things that only exist in India. If you asked me which is the most peculiar land on earth, I will immediately talk about India. Here, real men will hold hands while walking down the street, everyone eats with their hands, and people must adhere to countless bizarre prohibitions. Join me on a journey to India today, and I will show you the laws and strange things that even in the imagination of humanity have never been thought of before. Number 15. Ban on alcohol advertising. This is perhaps one of the longest standing prohibitions on this list. In India, advertising alcoholic beverages has been illegal since the late 1990s. In fact, many states across the country, such as Gujarat, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram, have gone a step further and strictly prohibit the consumption of alcohol together. But alcohol companies have found alternative solutions to convey their brand to consumers. One such example is surrogate advertising, where liquor companies promote their brands by advertising various brand extensions like mineral water, soda, CDs, airlines, and even a cricket team. It is said that India is a significant market for whiskey in the world, and liquor companies cleverly circumvent the ban by finding loopholes in the law to advertise their brands. In fact, among the list today, this is the most practical prohibition. But it is not effective when Indian men can be considered true alcohol enthusiasts. Number 14. Ban on dancing in bars. I don't know if they have perception issues or not, but bars are clearly created for revelry and partying, yet people in India are banned from dancing there. Initially, this ban applied to female dancers in bars. If you are a woman and caught dancing in a dance bar in India, you could be fined a minimum of $10,000 and could ultimately face 3 years in prison. It is believed that these bars are seen as establishments with deviant interests. Therefore, to curb it, the government passed a law revoking licenses of all dance bars. As days go by, the measures of Indian authorities become more stringent, and Indian police even arrest all girls dancing in bars, whether they are dancers or just guests out to have fun. One truly insane and conflicting aspect of this ban is that India considers the profession of prostitution legal. So, why ban female dancers in bars, who are often much more graceful than sex workers? Number 13. Ban on parties with foreigners, dance, lingerie, and now parties. This list couldn't get any sadder than this. The Karnataka state government in India recently banned party organizers from inviting foreigners to events unless approved by the government. The reason for this is the increasing number of crimes against foreign citizens in India. This has become a serious concern, and thus, the government decided to prohibit their participation in social gatherings without prior permission. Even if you can invite Rihanna, Bieber, or One Direction to your party, but you will have to provide details of all the foreign guests to the police beforehand and allow the authorities to film them the entire time they are at your event. It sounds strange, and there have been many proposals to lift this ban, but the government seems to enjoy killing the joy. Number 12. Ban on foie gras. French foie gras is one of the most delicious and expensive dishes in the world, but for the people of India, it is abhorrent. They have removed this delicacy from their menus and officially become the first country in the world to ban the import of foie gras. This ban was declared after an animal rights group from London protested that the methods used to produce this delicacy from goose liver are cruel. They also argued that they wanted the ban because large restaurants were promoting the use of foie gras as a peculiar thing throughout the country, a preference that could be a crime. In reality, some countries like Israel, Germany, the UK, and the state of California have banned the production of foie gras, but India is the first country to cease its import. Number 11. Taboo on menstruation. While all developed countries in the world educate children about gender openly from an early age, in the second most populous country in the world, this issue is often overlooked. The menstrual cycle of women is an absolute taboo, a shameful matter in daily life in India. It has been a frightening silence in Indian society for hundreds of years. A recent study by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, revealed that 71% of adolescent girls in India are still unaware of menstruation until they experience it for the first time, and many girls drop out of school because of it. Additionally, another report by the non-governmental organization Dastroy, published in 2019, pointed out that 23 million girls drop out of school annually due to the lack of proper menstrual hygiene tools and facilities, including sanitary pads and information about menstruation. Public health experts and non-governmental organizations working in this field also highlight the lack of basic services such as access to sanitation and clean water, as well as societal prejudices, harassment, and taboos, in addition to the mental and psychological stress. A significant challenge in the menstrual hygiene issue is that many people lack access to essential products. For many, menstruation and how to deal with it are still obscured by cultural and social taboos and restrictions, leading to adolescent girls being unaware of scientific facts and health hygiene practices, sometimes causing health issues. This culture of silence creates a sense of shame about menstruation within families and communities. Number 10. Men holding hands. If one day you happen to see two men holding hands, you might think they're a gay couple. But if you ever set foot in India, this is entirely normal. Anywhere in India, we can witness moments of hand-holding between men. Asking some men about why they hold hands in public, they seem to be puzzled by the question. It's understandable because from birth, Indian men have had this habit. In Indian culture, holding hands signifies intimate friendship between brothers or friends. This closeness is not limited to men. Women do the same. Indian women walking together might hold hands, interlace their fingers, simply expressing camaraderie in certain situations like religious ceremonies, festivals, or significant events. Holding hands also signifies unity and community spirit. In general, the act of men holding hands in India represents friendly affection rather than romantic love. So, don't be surprised to see many same-gender couples in India. It's the opposite of what you might think. I'll explain this more clearly to you shortly. Number 9. Prohibition of beef. India is one of the countries with the highest population of cows in the world, but it's quite unbelievable that beef is entirely banned here. In 2015, the government of the state of Maharashtra, India's second largest state, imposed a ban on the sale and possession of beef with penalties ranging up to 10,000 rupees and a maximum of 5 years in prison for those convicted. The campaign sparked widespread opposition on social media, especially from meat enthusiasts and suppliers across the state. But despite their efforts, they failed to dissuade the government from enacting the law. The ban was indeed implemented to align with religious sentiments across the country. It's important to know that cows are considered sacred animals in India, especially within the Hindu community. Followers of Jainism worship cows, and those following Hinduism regard the cow as a sacred being. They do not consume beef. The beauty of a young girl's eyes is even likened to the eyes of a female cow. From ancient times, the people in this region have considered the cow as their ancestor. Indus consider the cow as a sacred animal, but not the buffalo. While many countries view beef as a primary food source, in India, it is the opposite and no one dares to eat it. Consuming beef is considered sacrilegious. Only waste products such as cow urine and dung are used for medicinal purposes, from treating skin diseases to cancer. Other factors contributing to the sanctity of cows include references in the Vedas where killing cows is prohibited. When Muslims and Mongols invaded, the symbol of protecting cows was used to emphasize unity between indigenous religions. Number 8. Ban on mannequins wearing bikinis. Believe it or not, this is indeed a ban currently being enforced in India. The government has voted to prohibit the display of mannequins wearing bikinis in shop windows in a move they believe will reduce cases of sexual harassment and recent incidents of attacks based on lustful motives across the country. Officials argue that mannequins wearing revealing lingerie and seductive stockings are shameful for girls and have polluted the minds of men throughout the city, going against societal morals. This ban was passed in lieu of the Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986, which relates to portraying the figure of a woman or any of her body parts in an indecent, corrupt, or injurious manner to public morality. This ban immediately faced strong opposition from most of the Indian population. Ironically, These mannequins are not as provocative as the sensual sculptures and carvings in famous temples like Khajuraho, where scenes of group sexual activities are displayed. Female customers had varying opinions. Some welcomed the ban, believing it would reduce sexual attacks on women. Others opposed the ban, considering it foolish and backward. If you visit India, you may need to enter a store to know it sells lingerie, because there won't be any signs or advertisements outside indicating that they sell innerwear for women. Number 7. Consequences of revealing attire. One of the survival tactics in India that you must remember when you come here is your clothing. You might not be aware that the rate of women and children facing harassment in India is the highest in the world. This is a consequence of prevalent misconceptions in the culture of many Indian men. Therefore, it's better not to dress too revealingly while traveling in India if you want to avoid troublesome situations or even attacks. Moreover, if you plan to visit temples, both men and women must dress modestly and conservatively. India is a country with many ancient and sacred temples. Anyone visiting these places wants to explore them, but to enter dressing modestly is an absolute requirement. In fact, in some places, women are required to wear Muslim clothing to pass through the gate. Additionally, everyone, regardless of gender, must remove their shoes when entering the inner sanctum. It's not an official government ban, but it's an unwritten rule in Indian society. Follow it to ensure your safety, especially if you're a woman. Number 6. Red dot on the forehead. Many of us may have wondered why in movies or any images of Indian people, we always see a red dot on the foreheads of women. Is it for beautification, or does it hold some ritualistic significance? In reality, this red dot has significant meaning for women in this country. Indians believe that placing a dot between the eyebrows signifies joy and good luck. Therefore, they call these dots bindi, meaning small dot or drop of water in Hindi. Indian women apply a red dot or gemstone here to become wiser, more enlightened, and to ward off demons. Some also believe that the red dot of the bindi is like the third eye of Indian women. The red color of the bindi symbolizes honor, love, and prosperity. In the southern part of India, married women traditionally wear the bindi to show that they are settled in married life. The size of the dot between the two eyes also signifies the status of Indian women. In India, only married women are allowed to wear the bindi. On the wedding day, the groom personally applies the bindi on the bride's forehead to indicate that the woman has been married. According to tradition, only married women are allowed to wear this lucky dot. If a married woman fails to wear this mark after marriage, she may face criticism from her parents, uncles, aunts, and close relatives, who may suspect whether her husband is still alive. Of course, unmarried women and widows are not allowed to wear the lucky dot. However, with the development and progress of society today, the scope of women wearing the lucky dot has also expanded. Some young girls and unmarried women also wear the bindi. Furthermore, people now demand that the shape and color of the lucky dot must match each face, hairstyle, and dress. Number 5. Prohibited hand and feet gestures. There is an extensive list of social norms in India, and it's crucial to learn them if you plan to visit. A single wrong gesture might cost you dearly. Let's start with the left hand. In the cultural beliefs of the Indian people, the left hand is considered unclean and often used for activities like removing shoes or cleaning feet. Therefore, a strict prohibition in India is to never use the left hand when giving or receiving something from a local. This is deemed impolite and uncivilized. If invited to someone's home in India, it's crucial to remember to remove your shoes outside the door before entering. Always keep your feet clean and avoid using them to step on any objects inside the house. If you accidentally violate this rule, touch the object with your hand and then bring your hand close to your eyes to signify an apology. Another social etiquette you should know when in India is to avoid pointing at people or anything with your fingers. Pointing is considered rude, impolite, and will immediately draw attention if you violate this norm. Number 4. Prohibition of LGBT. If you belong to the LGBTQ community, be prepared for the possibility of being attacked or having food thrown at you when you set foot in this country. Even entering here might be impossible, as the government is strict with transgender individuals. Rights related to same-sex relationships have been a hot topic worldwide, and many countries like France, Brazil, Denmark, Ireland, and recently the United States have progressed and shown their support by legalizing it. However, India still relies on its cultural standards and refuses to recognize same-sex relations. According to the government, homosexuality is considered a disorder and needs to be prevented. In fact, India elevated this ban in 2009, but the Supreme Court recently reinstated it in 2013, dealing a harsh blow to the basic rights of thousands of LGBT individuals nationwide. Strong protests were witnessed across the country after the ban was reintroduced. Number 3. Eating with hands. I'll show you a video clip of an Indian meal that may seem unhygienic as they use their hands to mix everything and scoop it into their mouths. Don't they know how to use chopsticks, spoons, or other utensils? Why do you eat in such a messy way? In reality, the practice of eating with hands in India is related to Ayurveda, a historical system of medicine originating in ancient India. According to Ayurveda, eating with hands is beneficial for health because your body will perceive the temperature of the food. When you use your hands to scoop the food, you can feel whether it's too hot, too cold, or at the right temperature to put into your mouth. The brain also sends signals to the stomach to prepare for digestion. The nerve endings at the fingertips help convey information to the brain that you are about to eat. The brain then sends signals to the stomach to release digestive fluids and enzymes, aiding in effective digestion. According to Ayurveda, eating with hands not only fills the stomach but also nurtures the spirit of everyone. When you touch the food directly with your hands, you create a physical and spiritual connection with the dish. Additionally, Indian folklore believes that the 5 fingers represent the 5 elements forming the universe: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Indians believe that if these 5 elements are combined when you eat, it will make the food tastier and aid in better digestion. While eating, Indians typically use only their right hand to scoop food. They often sit cross-legged on the ground with a straight back. Before sitting, a cloth is usually spread to avoid direct contact with the ground. Indians touch the food only with their fingertips, avoiding the use of the entire palm. Despite the reasons Indians provide, eating with hands can be unhygienic, and this traditional practice should be reconsidered to ensure the health of the community. Number 2. Public display of affection prohibition. If you and your partner are traveling in India, you should try to restrain yourselves from kissing or showing affection in public until you get back to your hotel, because a kiss on the street can lead to both of you being arrested. It may sound like a joke, but this is a serious matter in India, in the world's second most populous country. Expressing love publicly is illegal. To be honest, any form of public display of affection is considered a crime. Section 294 of the Indian Penal Codes strictly prohibits and imposes penalties for obscenity in public places, while crimes against women such as rape and domestic violence still require stricter laws. Expressing love openly is a taboo in a culturally rich country like India. In fact, in 2014, this prohibition led to a nationwide non-violent protest moral policing called the Kiss of Love campaign, during which thousands of couples publicly kissed in defiance. This protest gained attention worldwide, but it couldn't change the authorities' decision. Number 1. Bizarre wedding rituals. When discussing peculiar things in India, one cannot overlook the unique wedding rituals. You might find it hard to believe what people in India do on their wedding day. In India, people can marry a tree or even a pot. This stems from the ancient culture of the Indian people. If a woman's astrological chart shows the presence of the planet Mars, she is considered Manglik. Hindus believe that a Manglik woman brings bad luck to her husband. Therefore, they might marry her to a tree, a dog, or a pot to ward off. In ceremonies involving the groom, he may be privileged to have his mother-in-law wash his feet. In the Gujarati community, when the groom enters the bride's home, the bride's mother performs a foot-washing ritual using madhupaka, a mixture of milk and honey. This is a traditional way of welcoming esteemed guests into an ancient Indian home. In some other regions, the groom might be subjected to being pelted with tomatoes, flowers, or other peculiar items. Their wedding rituals are incredibly diverse. and researchers have not been able to catalog them all. So we've embarked on a fascinating journey full of unique insights and reflections about India. From strict marriage regulations to rules about parties, clothing, the country faces challenges and controversies surrounding personal freedom and human rights. We hope that through this video you've gained a deeper understanding of India's culture and society, as well as the complexities of the regulations and limitations people here face every day. Keep following our channel for more intriguing topics from around the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us.